What is up, YouTube? View behind the wheel again. So you guys gotta let me know what you like more, the view behind the wheel or the view from the center console, effectively. So that way I know. The nice thing is that the cool thing about this view is, you know, you don't gotta stare at my ugly mug all the time. So let me tell you, first things first, let's get rid of this gum here. So this is part 3 of my Ford Lemon Law video. I wanted to go ahead and give you guys an update. Today is day number 37 that is actually in the books for my Ford being in the shop. For those of you that don't know, please go back and definitely check out my other 2 videos. Big accident there. Other 2 videos regarding my Ford Fusion Sport, because I think that it's an important thing for you to check out before you view this one. It will just make sense. Anyways, on to the video. So I haven't heard back from Folsom Lake Ford since Friday of last week. Now, Monday, I made a video and I was excited because I thought I was going to get my car back. I was called by Ford last Friday and she told me that yes, they had in fact received the motor and that I should have the motor that Friday, or I may have it, I may have the car, I'm sorry, that Friday, or I should have the car on Monday. Monday rolls around, I don't hear anything. Tuesday, I don't hear anything. Wednesday, I don't hear anything. Thursday, I don't hear anything. So here we are Friday, a whole week later, and I still haven't heard anything from this service rep at Folsom Lake Ford. And, you know, this is the problem with service reps is if there's no update on my car, that's cool. But at least give me the courtesy of 5 minutes to call me and let me know, hey, there's no update. So I call her today about 3 p.m. my time, and I say, hey, Bridget, this is Eddie. It goes, of course, to her voicemail. I say, this is Eddie, and I am trying to figure out what's going on with my Ford Fusion Sport. Please give me a call back. So an hour goes by, and I get a phone call, and she goes, Eddie, yes, we have received the motor. The motor is in the car. I'm going to go ask my tech what is taking so long. And I tell her, I say, Bridget, you know, the fact that you guys still have it is frustrating to me because I want my car back, but it's not inconveniencing me at this point anymore. I mean, I have a rental. This F-150, 4x4 F-150 it's a freaking hoot to drive. I love having the versatility of a truck. I love the fact that it's 4x4, and I love the fact it's a rental, so I can kind of beat on it a little bit, right? Anyways, so she tells me she needs to call me back. So hours go by, and at 5:30 Friday afternoon, I get a phone call back, and she goes, hey, good news. The motor is in the car. Everything is hooked up. However, we have to order you a new transmission selector, which won't be until Wednesday of next week. And we'll probably get your car to you Thursday or Friday of next week for your trans selector. So here's the deal. On some Fords, for instance, the Ford Fusion Sport, for instance, they have a rotary dial shift knob. It's not an actual shifter that's in between the console. It's a rotary dial, so it spins. And the problem with these things is that they're not mechanical. They're not actually attached to the transmission. So basically, you turn it to the desired position, it sends a sending unit, and then on the transmission, a selector actually selects what gear. So drive, park, reverse, so on and so forth. So evidently that broke. Now, here's the problem. I was having no issues with my transmission whatsoever. In fact, it was driving just fine. Why do they have to fix a trans selector switch in the first place? That sounds like such BS to me. Like, it's frustrating because it's a dealer using my problem now to feed its bottom line. Because here's what happens, okay? The dealer, it's no skin off their game because this is hours billed to that specific service advisor. So this chick is getting upsell, and the dealership is making more money because more shit keeps breaking on my car, okay? I asked her when she called back, I said, okay, new trans selector, you guys are gonna have my car another week. That's frustrating. How did that break? Oh, I don't have any idea. Okay. So luckily, my brother-in-law, who is a Ford tech, I call him and I go, dude, what's up with this Selector? And he starts laughing and he goes, somebody forgot to unplug it before they tried to take the motor out. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, well, if you try to, the wire is really short on the actual sending unit. He said, so if you try to pull the motor and trans out without disconnecting that wire, you're going to pull the wire out and you're going to break your trans selector and you're going to have to order another one. So here's what this means. Some dumbass tech over at Ford, probably making $15 an hour, freaking yanked it out and broke the trans selector switch. Now, the good news is it's covered under warranty, okay? The good news is I still have a rental car. The bad news is I don't have my car, and that's where the frustration is. So I ask her, what happened to the motor? You know, why'd you guys have to do a motor replacement? And Bridget tells me, Eddie, I don't know why you needed a new motor. In fact, the tech hasn't told me yet. Okay, well, that's freaking retarded. You can't look in your, you mean to tell me there's no notes? No notes. Ford has to authorize a new motor, okay? So get this shady stuff, okay? My brother-in-law, that Ford tech, in order for Ford to authorize a motor, what has to happen is they have to prove to Ford that there is a catastrophic failure within the motor itself. Once they prove that, Ford will authorize the long block, okay? That was from a Ford technician's mouth, ex-Ford technician's mouth. So I said, well, that's interesting because when they ordered the motor, my old one wasn't out of my car. How did they check to see if there was any damage whatsoever? You know what he told me? He goes, oh, well, techs keep pictures of motors that are destroyed on their phone so that we can send them to Ford to authorize the block to get the new motor. And once we put your new motor in, we'll send the original pictures to Ford, and then we will tear your motor apart and then snap more pictures of it and then send it to Ford. And it's just, it's so shady. It's so shady, okay? So I called Ford Corporate today. I talked to a woman named Marge. Now, I did call Ford Corporate a couple of weeks ago. I was trying to get dates as far as where my car was in the service interval. What I mean by that is presumption in the state of California basically says that if your car is less than 18,000 miles, has been in the shop 2 or more times for major mechanical failure, 4 or more times for a non-major mechanical failure, or 30 days cumulative, you're eligible for a buyback. Well, here we are, day 37. I still don't have my car, and it's been a motor problem both times. So I am part of a Facebook group, actually, where other people are going through similar issues. They're going through buybacks with the Ford Fusion Sport. There wasn't a ton of these cars. The community isn't that big. I think there's like 660 people in this group or something like that. And like 6 people have gotten lemon laws from Ford. That's a huge percentage, okay? So to me, I'm like, that's crazy. Out of 600 vehicles, 6 of them are considered a lemon, okay? It's crazy to me. Now, mine has an early build date, okay? It was built April of 2016, and it's a 2017 model car, which means mine was one of the first ones actually built. Woo! That's awesome. Wrong, because it had head issues, and that's what they fixed the last time. So now they long blocked it. So back to the phone call with Ford. So I'm on the phone with this lady named Marge, and last time I called Ford, Marge answered the phone. What are the chances of me calling Ford 2 different days from 2 different phone numbers and speaking with the same customer service rep? It's insane. Her phone connection sucked, sounded like she was on a cell phone. She was helpful, okay? Don't get it twisted. Everybody's been very helpful in this. It's just big pain in my ass. So I told her, I said, hey, I want to let you know that my car is still in the shop and I am pursuing the California lemon law buyback replacement. And she said, no problem, sir. Mr. Cook, I'd love to help you with this. It's not going to be a problem. Tell me what's going on with your car. And I told her, hey, it's been in the shop for 2 times, both times for engine failure. The first time they replaced a bunch of pieces. The second time they long blocked it. It's been in over 30 days. okay? Both times my car shut off at speed. That is super dangerous, okay? That is a major safety concern of your vehicle because you lose brakes, you lose steering, it is a major, major concern. Cars should not shut off at speed. I understand if you come to a stop and your car sputters out and dies, but at 65 miles an hour for a car just to shut off, that is very dangerous. So I tell her all of this. She finds out what state I'm in, and she goes, okay, what was the reason it was first in the shop for? Motor. What was the second reason it was in the shop for? Motor. How many miles are on it now? Now, here's the interesting thing in the state of California with presumption. So presumption, presuming it's a lemon, says that it has to be less than 2 years old and less than 18,000 miles. Well, the problem is, when it first had a problem, it was at 16,900. Now it's just over 18,000 miles. I don't know what my miles into the dealer were, unfortunately. I don't know what they were because, well, the dealership has had my car 15 more days, so I don't know. So I told her it's right around 18,000. She said okay. She went ahead and put me on hold for about 15 minutes, wrote up a case, and she got back on the phone and she said, okay, sir, it's been submitted over to our lemon law buyback team. If we determine that it does fall under the California state lemon law, we will, of course, repurchase your vehicle. You will hear something back in writing within 30 days from Ford. They gave me a case number, and they told me to expect something in writing and a phone call from a case manager. That's what they expected me to do. A phone call from a case manager. And basically what the case manager is going to do is I'm assuming it's some sort of like Ford arbitrator, basically the person that's going to negotiate the deal with me. Now here's the deal. I don't necessarily want buyback. I want replacement. I like the car. I like the community. I like the twin turbo. I like the all-wheel drive. And I like the 19s. Just give me a 19. That's all I want. Okay, give me a 19. Swap it out. We'll be good to go. So, yeah. So now I wait. I have not said anything to any lawyers yet. No lawyer will even talk to me until I have both repair orders to prove that it's been in the shop for more than 30 days. Now, when I talk to them over the phone, they tell me, oh yeah, you got a slam dunk case. We just need this paperwork. The problem is I can't even start the paperwork with a lawyer until I get my repair order. The good news is Ford allowed me to open up a buyback claim with them without having to submit any paperwork because they have all the information on my car already. So now I wait 30 days from today. Today is the 11th of January. And hopefully I hear something back fairly soon. Until then, I'm going to keep driving the heck out of this F-150 because it's, like I said, it's a fun truck to drive. And basically I just wait and I see what ends up happening. What do I want? There is a third option to all of this. And the third option is something called cash and go. All right. What cash and go is basically this is where they fix your problem. They give you a big stack of money and they tell you to go away. Okay. Now, part of me said, hey, if you guys give me an extended warranty, I'd be really, really excited. Like, that's the least Ford should do is give me a 770 powertrain warranty on their car. That's the absolute least. But if they want to kick me some money as well, that'd be really cool. The problem is that the car's not worth a whole lot. So, I mean, it's just, I'm in this weird, funky situation. Anyways, leave some comments below if you've gone through a buyback, if you have more questions, or if you just have feedback or suggestions for me as to what I should do, because I really don't know. Like I said, I mean, I'm kind of all over the place. I know every manufacturer is going to have problems. I do. Doesn't matter what it is. This could be a Civic Type R, and I could be having lemon law issues with it. I've owned like 55 vehicles, and I've never had a vehicle that has had this many problems to it. Dude, I drive a show. I drive a tourist show, you know? Anyways, give me a ring back. Let me know what you guys should do. I will talk to you guys later. Shout out to the Ford Fusion Nation, and have yourself a great weekend.